Hi, it's Dorothy Guinan with Scrapbooking Quebec. In this video, I'm going to share 20 pages I created in January 2023 with the kit I put together at the beginning of the month. Here's the kit, and it was made with 6 collections. If you want a closer look, I will put a link to the kit share video below. At the end of the month, this is what my kit looks like, and sometime in February, I'll post a video to show you what I do with my kits at the end of each month. So stay tuned for that. Before starting, I want to mention a few things. There are process videos for some of these layouts, so they will be listed and linked below. Also throughout the share, sometimes I'll put one layout on the table, then the coordinating page. These are double page spreads that started with a single page layout and then I stretched it. Also at the end of this video, there will be still shots, so you will get a second look at all of these layouts. And finally, I did cover up some of the photos. So without further ado, let's get started. The first 6 pages I created using Vickibootin's print shop collection. And this collection, I incorporated 2 products that were new to me. One of them was the paper pad with pre-made mixed media backgrounds. And the other one was the papyri pack, which is like an ephemera pack, only there are more pieces. This one had 200 pieces in it, and they are really, really thin, so they are different to work with. The layout you see on the table right now, I incorporated both of those products, and I do like how it turned out. I'm actually quite thrilled with it, but I did have to get my head around using these new products, or certainly new to me. For this one, I created a simple shelf design. That's where I placed my title as well. And I also incorporated 2 embellishment clusters, one kind of hugging that photo in the top right, and the other one in the bottom left. Here's the coordinating page. So this is a very simple page design. I filled up the page with photos. I created a border with the same papers that I used on the original page. And I also placed the embellishment cluster strategically to form a visual triangle across the 2 pages, which is a technique I use when I create a single page, then stretch it into a double page spread. I do it all the time. It's perfect. It works very well. The next 2 pages I created on YouTube for the Scrapbook Nerd, and I created this one as a double page spread. So basically what I did was I created a wide border across the top, across the 2 pages. Then I placed my photos. At that point, I decided I needed a border at the bottom. I created 2 main embellishment clusters, placed my title, then added a hint of a 3rd cluster to form a visual triangle. The video that is listed and linked below, the title on that page is a little bit bigger. After I created the page on YouTube, about a week or so after, I decided I wanted more white space on the layout, so I basically lifted up 2 words that were in the title and I shortened the title. Now I'm going to show you another page I created with Print Shop. This is the first one I did in January this year, and I used both of the products that were new to me. That's a mixed media pre-made background, and that page also has tons of those papyri pieces, which, like I mentioned, are really, really thin. Now, what I learned from playing with it is you can add tons of those pieces on your layout, those papyri pieces in layers, and it doesn't add bulk to your layout. So I would say at this point, that is what I find the most advantageous about those papyri packs. There is the coordinating page. So once again, simple design, full of photos. I repeated the same papers, strategically placed an embellishment cluster to create a visual triangle across the 2 pages. I'm showing you I incorporated a photo flap there where I have 2 extra photos. That will be hidden under a page protector, and I'm okay with that. They are just extra photos that I'm storing in that flap. I am showing you a page I showed you a moment ago because it is the very same page design. It's simply flipped on its side. I use it often as what I call a page 2 design. It's a great way to add tons of photos on a layout. So once again, I'm just showing you these two pages side by side. And then I am going to change collections. The next pages I'm going to show you, I have two pages that I created using the Creative Memories Winter Day collection. So here's the first page I created as a single page layout. One photo, pretty simple, lots of white space, a bunch of layers. Those snowflakes there, I used dies from the scrapbook.com. I've been getting a lot of use out of those lately. It's very wintry where I live. Here is the coordinating page. So basically it's a 4-block grid, one embellishment cluster in the middle, strategically placed to create a visual triangle, more or less there. I'm not sure. That was my plan anyway, and I'm looking at it right now, and maybe it should go on the other side. Oh well. Also, you may have noticed that page was upside down, and then I kind of flipped it right side up. Here I'm changing collections again. This is from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and the paper pack I'm using is called Winter Lives Here. Really different for me. I never used a paper product at all from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I absolutely loved it. This had 12 papers in it, and actually a 13th because you could use the flip side of the cover sheet. So I created that grid first, the one you see on the left, and there is the coordinating page. So it's very, very busy, and you're going to see in a moment when I show you the next two pages, I created a very similar page to the one that was placed on the left. This one I did on YouTube for the Scrapbook Nerd and also for a new series on my channel called Simple Pages with Impact. In that video, I spoke about using big, bold, beautiful prints and how to use them without losing your photos in the big, bold prints. Also, how to do this quickly. So that video will be listed and linked below. There is the coordinating page. I kept it really simple. Because the original page was so busy, I decided to keep the page 2 really, really simple. And there's an advantage to that. They come together really quickly as well. I am just showing you these two pages side by side because essentially it is the same page design. They do look different, but you can definitely tell they are the same page design. I created 2 more pages with this collection, except they are a little bit mixed up beside me. So what I'm going to show you right now is a single page that I created with Vickibootin's Evergreen and Holly collection. For this one, I used a shelf design technique, and basically I create a shelf with scraps of paper, I place my photos, and from that shelf, I build off of it embellishment clusters, title, and journaling. So this is a great technique to use when you have a bunch of leftovers. This particular layout, the products I used were really bits and pieces that I had left over from that Evergreen and Holly collection because I used tons of it in December in my December documented album or Journal Your Christmas album. I am back now to the Elizabeth Craft Designs paper pack, the Christmas Lives Here collection. I created this page first, very simple, a row of photos, 2 embellishment clusters. The one at the bottom incorporates a title. There is the coordinating page. Once again, I filled it up with photos, but one of the blocks I reserved for journaling and an embellishment cluster. That's it. So those are 2 more pages with that Christmas Lives Here collection by Elizabeth Craft Designs. I used everything from that paper pack in January. I absolutely loved it. Now I'm changing collections. This is a Simple Stories Mix and a Mingle collection. This one I did on YouTube for the Scrapbook Nerd, and this is the shelf design I mentioned earlier. Basically, I took scraps of paper, created a shelf, placed my photos, and then built from that. I'm showing you right now the page 2 I created to coordinate it. With it. I'm showing you as well. I have a little photo flap. Again, it's going to be hidden under the page protector, but underneath that flap are extra photos. I'm bringing back this other page there with the shelf design. So you can see it's the same page design. I started by creating a shelf, placed my photos, And then basically I built from that. And the fun part of that technique is it evolves into this organic shape, and they always look different. Again, a great technique for using leftover collections. And the video for the page you see on the left there is listed and linked below, and I explain that technique. So I created 2 more pages with this Mix and a Mingle collection, and this one I did it for Janet Fritz's monthly YouTube collaboration, Stretch the Sketch. For this one, I used a sketch from Creative Scrappers, sketch number 32. It's listed in the video that's linked up below. So what I did for that one is I created this page according to the sketch, or more or less, and then I ended up creating a coordinating page, which is basically a very simple page 2 design that you see right now. And when I created the original page, I kind of created 2 embellishment clusters, which permitted me the opportunity to create a 3rd embellishment cluster on the coordinating page, placing it so that I could form a visual triangle. I also showed you once again another flap there. There's a photo in there, and eventually I'll put a bit more journaling in there. I didn't do it yet. Now, this is the last page. This actually wasn't part of my kit in January. This is a page 2 that I created for the page you see on the right. The page on the right, I did it on YouTube in December for the Scrapbook Nerd, so that will be listed and linked below. I used a paper pack from Studio Light called Bright and Bold, which was way outside my comfort zone, and I simply created a 4-block grid as a coordinating page, created an embellishment cluster, strategically placed it to create a visual triangle. So that is it. 20 pages I created with my kit in January 2023. I hope you enjoyed this layout share. Here are the still shots. Tomorrow I will post my February kit share video on YouTube, and I'm also going to talk about my monthly YouTube plans. Also, sometime in February, I'll post a video to show how I tidy up and put away my monthly kits. I have this down to a science, so it goes very, very quickly. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would be thrilled if you did. And if you are a subscriber, thank you very, very much. And thanks for spending time with me today. Have a fantastic day, and I'll be back tomorrow on YouTube. Bye-bye.